Thank you for tuning in to this Cosmo Campfire regarding the meeting manager. I'm your host today. My name is Lexi and I'm on the customer success team. On the agenda today, we will be discussing the meeting manager feature, which allows you to collaborate as a team, keeping you on top of all of the discussions across your projects or non-project related meetings. You can organize and manage a collection of meetings within the meeting manager or from a project, and also keep track of progress against them by viewing what has been resolved, who's resolved it, and what is outstanding. During the meeting, you can record details, including attendance as well as log time on behalf of all attendees. If you have meeting layouts and details that you would like to reuse, then you can also clone your existing meetings or load them along with their related attendees, agenda items, and agenda tasks. Once a meeting has been completed, a PDF can be downloaded and shared as needed, and this will include information regarding the attendees' agenda item notes and agenda tasks. That is what we will be discussing today. And in addition to that, we will also discuss how to archive your meetings and customize your meeting notes, as well as discuss how the sharing and deletion process works for the meeting managers. So let's take a look. You can navigate to the meeting manager from a few different places within Mission Control. If you're creating a new meeting manager, you'll want to navigate to the Mission Control console and the Launchpad. Here you can create your meeting manager, which will contain your meetings, agendas, and other items. If you have an existing meeting manager, you can search it from the Management pad, and once you select your meeting manager from the drop-down, you'll go ahead and click View Meeting Manager. Now, before we get into creating our meetings and reviewing the functionality here, how to add the meeting manager to your page layouts. If you will be managing your meetings from your project level, there are a few things you'll want to take a look at. In the project detail, there are two fields called Hide Meeting Notes Agenda Task Comments or Hide Meeting Notes Attendees List. And these are just checkboxes so that you can choose to hide these items from your PDF once it's been generated. In order to add the meeting manager component to the layout, you'll want to either contact your system administrator, or if you are or have system administrative permissions, you'll want to navigate to your setup icon in the top right corner and then select Edit Page. Now, it's best to do this from your project record because the project overview page will automatically open instead of having to search through your pages for it. Once you have the component out, you'll want to add a tab. You can do so by clicking an existing tab, and that will open up your tabs page. What you'll need to do is add a tab and customize the layout. So you'll want to first customize the name, select Custom, define a custom label, and once that tab is created, you'll just click into it within the display, and then you can drag and drop the meeting manager component directly into the page layout from the custom managed components. This is usually towards the bottom. All right, let's go ahead and jump back into our page. When you are viewing a meeting manager from the project, it will automatically filter to the meeting manager that is related to it, and also collect the related meetings. Another thing to mention when using the meeting manager from a project is that you can also include your project stakeholders. So when creating a meeting, I can add my stakeholders, and I can also add agenda tasks from my project. So let's go ahead and create a new meeting. As you can see, I have my design check-in 1, 2, and 3rd week. Let's go ahead and create the 4th week. You'll select a date and time and can choose to include your Zoom or team meeting information and links. If you have a time populated, then you will also be able to create a Salesforce event and allow it to show in your Salesforce calendar. And you will not need to populate the project, as it will automatically associate to it once we save. But then you will need to create your agenda items. So you can either do that by typing in the agenda item name, or you can pull them from your milestone. So let's go ahead and pull them from our milestone. And we don't need this last item here, so we'll go ahead and delete that. Next, you can take a look at the attendees. We've added this in our latest release to have the ability to add teams or stakeholders from your project. So if I go in and search for a team, it'll pull all of the roles that are on that team currently and give you checkboxes to determine who needs to be added and who does not. So go ahead and add those members. And then when adding your stakeholders, you want to use this for either your clients that might be added as a stakeholder through a contact record or an asset record and so forth, or you can also have your internal resources added as project stakeholders as well, so that they receive the project status report updates. So let's go ahead and add our members. We have a full attendees list. We're going to go ahead and create that event and update the time. Once you have that done, you will see your meeting appear. Let's go ahead and take a look at this project within the meeting manager component so that it's displayed in a bigger view. So I will go ahead and navigate to my meeting manager and then go and search for the RipCurl meeting manager that I have previously created. As your meeting starts, you can either edit details for the meeting by clicking the pencil icon, and if you are ready to resume, go ahead and click the icon to view and open up the meeting. The first thing you'll see will be the Attendees tab. This is where you will mark who attended the meeting and who unfortunately did not make the meeting and why. After updating this, you can go ahead and click Save. If you need to add other team members, you can see that option is available as well. Next, let's take a look at the agenda. So these are the items that we pulled over into our meeting from our milestones. You can add whatever details within this text field. It is a rich text field, so you can add images and other details here. There is a max character limit of about 32,000 characters, so you want to also remember that as well. Alright, once you click out of this section, your agenda item will automatically save. If the agenda item has been resolved throughout the meeting, you can mark it as resolved so that it is not added to your next meeting, or you can mark it to be added to your next meeting. If you need to manage any of the agenda item details, you can view the record detail by clicking the eye icon. You can remove any of the items that you need and also reorder them. Okay. Awesome new feature that we've added in our latest release is to also be able to expand and collapse the other sections within the layout so that you have a clearer view of the meeting. Let's take a look at the agenda tasks. These are like subtasks to that work along with our agenda item. This might be something that one of our resources has to do in relation to the agenda item, or that it has come up in the meeting that you don't want to forget about. So to create your agenda task, you'll enter in your task owner. Now, if there are multiple tasks that need to be created, once you select a resource and enter in the name, that name will remain there so that you can create further tasks for that user. You say my task is here, and I can also create another task. You can also choose to add additional notes. And again, once you click out of that, you'll want to hit the plus sign or hit enter, and that will create your agenda task. Now, the cool thing about these is that you can relate it to an action and create an action from this task, or you can convert it into a checklist item. So let's go ahead and convert the first item into an action. We'll select our project and other details here. Once you've entered all of the details that you would like, you can go ahead and hit the save button. You can also choose to convert your task into a checklist item and relate it to an action on your project. Once you select the button, you'll receive a modal will open and allow you to populate your checklist item details related to the action in question and add further notes as well. If you need to modify your task, you can go ahead and click the edit pencil, and that will open up your agenda task detail where you can add extra comments and so forth. And similar to your agenda item, if you need to add this task to the next meeting so that it's discussed or reviewed, you'll need to select the add to next meeting button. Okay. So let's take a look at how to clone or load a meeting. To do that, you'll go to the same component where you add your meeting, and that is this calendar symbol in the meetings section. And from the load from button at the top, you'll be able to load in your meeting. So I'm going to load this one and rename it Design Week 4. Design Week 5. Go ahead and select the time. Everything looks cool there with the dates, and our agenda items have already been populated from this meeting as well as the attendees. So let's go ahead and click save. Now when I load a meeting, the items that are marked as add to next meeting will be included. If I mark them as resolved and I load this same meeting, those items will not be included. If you need to add additional agenda items, you can also do that from here as well. So let's go back into our last meeting, and we've had the discussion with the team and continue to move forward. Now it is time to log time for the users that did attend. So anyone who was marked as attended will be included to log time. So let's go back to our agenda and log time. Now there's two options. You can log time for the entire meeting, or if only a certain area of the project is under discussion for the meeting, you can also choose to log time for just the agenda item. Alright, so let's go ahead and log time for the entire meeting. Next, I will select the project that this relates to and the amount of hours that was spent in the meeting, any additional time log notes. I can also choose to make this non-billable if it's internal, or exclude it from billable capacity if required. I'm going to leave that there. Now there's two options. You can hit to start the time tracker if you are tracking at the beginning of your meeting and want to cut it off when you're done, or you can go ahead and enter the amount of hours that has been completed and hit save. Once I hit save, you'll see that all of my time logs will be created. Now, let's take a look at generating our PDF. Now, when you generate your PDF, you'll want to first consider the settings in the control pad, as your meeting manager PDF will contain a pinkish and orange color by default. However, you can change the section header and other color schemes throughout the layout by finding the hexadecimal format for the colors that you would like to use and setting them here in the control pad. I've grabbed some mission control related colors and saved them here. Now, the next thing you'll want to notice is that you can also override the title and decide alignment for the article if you want everything aligned to the left or it's centered. Let's go ahead and hit save there. And let's go back to our meeting manager and check out the PDF. Be careful, you don't want to delete your meeting manager. Alright, so when you select that, your web PDF will be generated. As you can see, my color scheme is very similar to my logo here. Okay, you can choose to override your meeting title, notes title. You'll get your meeting name and the date of the meeting scheduled, your attendees list and who attended and who did not attend. Again, you can choose to hide this from your project level. Next, you have your agenda items and the agenda item tasks that were discussed, who is assigned to those tasks, and then you can also choose to mark what is resolved and what has not been resolved yet. If you would like to set sharing rules for your meetings so that only certain users are able to see the meetings, you can go ahead to the mission control console, into the control pad, and at the bottom in the project automation settings, you can choose to enable meeting manager sharing rules to cascade. So that means if you create rules on your meeting manager object, the rules will cascade down to the related meetings, agenda items, and agenda tasks. If you need to remove a record like the meeting manager, it will follow a similar form and remove all of the child object records. Thank you for joining this Kosmo Campfire, and feel free to join into our other ones by registering on our Kosmo Campfire page. If you have any questions, please feel free to take a look at our documentation or hit us at support@aprika.com or using our other support avenues. Thank you.